I think I will need 5 minutes to at least stop myself from crying. Is that okay? People need to understand that if it hasn't or any emergency has not happened to you doesn't mean that it will never. We are trying to be there for you in such situations.
Hope it will never happen.
But every time I got that achievement, it didn't feel like, oh wow, what a nice job I have done. Unless it actually saved a life. Whatever you do, save a life. That should be a success. And any emergency happens, obviously they'll rush into your flat or your place or to your location. Next is if, as I mentioned, like CPR and cardiac arrest and everything, even our paramedic can't do can't help immediately. So we also give training to the residents as well of the first aid, so that by the time we are reaching, you are also giving some sort of stabilization, so that when we reach, we do it properly, medically and ethically. I feel if that pain is managed well, then it can help a founder. Otherwise, it can not just a founder; it can broke anyone.
To a system that failed when it mattered the most. And during COVID, after 11 days of wrong medication, she lost her father. But instead of moving on, she made a decision. She said, I will build what we need, what we never had, a system that actually responds.
Again, as I said, I was for a year, I was going back and forth. Ki should I go for this idea or should I just focus on my needs and do a job or get into freelancing again? It's tiny. I mean, only the auto could go just one side. Like if it has to come back, it has to reverse out. So he stood at the gate and auto driver is like, कि मैडम मैं अंदर नहीं आऊँगा, मेरे को रिवर्स मारने को नहीं होगा. I'm like, the patient is unable to move and you are giving this excuse to us. I mean, at that point, I got so angry, but obviously my focus was ki how can I help out my father? What should I do? Even the hospital wasn't aware that we were coming, being a stretcher or wheelchair or something. I don't know, I just talked to him, and next, in few hours, he was on ventilator. So I didn't know, I was blank, I guess, at that point, and only thought was racing in my mind how will I tell this to my mom? And that's when I started to realize he didn't die from kidney failure. He died because wrong treatment was given. By the time it was 11th day, my father called my mom that his condition is so worsened that he couldn't even drink water.
Most of us think emergencies are rare until they happen in our home. What would you do if someone you love collapsed right in front of you and no one know what to do next? Today's guest didn't just experience that chaos, she lived through years of it. From wrong treatment to missed diagnosis to a system that failed when it mattered the most. And during COVID, after 11 days of wrong medication, she lost her father. But instead of moving on, she made a decision. She said, I will build what we need, what we never had, a system that actually responds. In this episode, we are not just talking about startups, we are talking about life, loss, and building something that can save someone else's father or parents. Stay till this end. This is not just a story, this is a responsibility. This episode is going to be intense, heartbreaking, and still how she chose to fight back. It is seriously my honor to represent her, and I feel it is equally honor for you to share her story in your network, as this might save someone's life. So please do us a favor, watch till the end and support her. Talk to her, ask her how she is in these turbulent times. People supporting her means a lot, and it might be a goal for them. So please support her, and welcome to the podcast, Falguni.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Before we begin your story, we want to know who you are, what you do, and where did you grow up. Just take us to the back beginning when since you're born.
Okay. So my name is Falguni Mistry. I am founder of June Emergency app. We have been working in emergency sector for 4 years. Before that, I was a graphic designer, graphic and UI UX designer. So I knew how to build applications, like design applications, websites, and everything. So
Yeah.
I mean that knowledge helped me in this area. Coming from a design background, like my father had his own advertising and designing agency, so my natural path was ki I'll follow my father's footstep, take over his business. But I guess life had some other plans. I'm from Mumbai, born and brought up here, and yeah, I have two elder sisters, mom, and right now I'm blessed with a nephew, so life is going good.
Congrats. Congrats.
Thank you.
There are two segments in this. Segment 1 is more about yourself and your
Hmm.
mindset, and segment 2 is more about what you're working on. And there is also a game section in this. So if it is just a little bit of light-hearted, so as I said, I mean, I said to my audience that it is going to be intense for them, and
Hmm.
I equally feel like it is going to be intense for you as well. So um, just take it easy, okay?
Yeah, I mean, like when you briefed me, I was like, this is something different. Like usually people talk about like surface level stuff, like if it's a entrepreneur or founder's journey. But let's see. And thank you for like saying that.
What was the exact moment when you realized this is not just a health issue, this is a system failure?
I would say my actually, this realization came very late. My father was chronically ill for 4 years. So, during those time, we struggled to get him immediate help or, access right hospitals, right doctors. And in those times, no one is in right mind to understand what's right, what's wrong. It's just survival. So, for survival point of view, we were doing everything we could. And
Yeah.
so those 4 years it didn't click us anything until like COVID happened. So my father had to do dialysis twice a week, and in June we all got diagnosed with COVID-19. So we couldn't find a center where he could go and do dialysis and come back, because obviously that wasn't advisable. So after like searching for like hours, we finally found a hospital which was known for nephrology. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we got lucky that we also got a bed for us to admit him there. So we were like, okay, like it's best, no, like nephrology hospital, kidney issues and everything. So he'd be taken care of. So for like we trusted the system like blindly. We were like, "Ki, this is the best hospital. After 15 days he'll recover, or maybe like it might get extended to some days." But by the time it was 11th day, my father called my mom that like his condition is so worsened that he couldn't even drink water. So we were like, what's happening? I mean, like admitting him to a best hospital which treats his condition, still he's suffering from, a problem like this. So immediately we changed it hospital to some other. Again, we got lucky in that sense. So there we got to know that because of wrong medications, his intestines were had small holes, like and it was damaged to the point that in this condition, it was very difficult to recover. So eventually, he went on ventilator, and then he passed away. Again, it took me like after his passing away, it took me like 6 7 months to to go back to a normal life. And that's when I started to realize he didn't die from kidney failure, he died because wrong treatment was given. So I mean the system is so messed up that people are dying for some other reason, not which they were suffering from. So since I was in my master's degree, wherein last semester we had to create a project, any project. So I decided to build a remote hospitalization, because that time it was a need. Because COVID just just like in 2021, like COVID was recovering, we all were recovering from the lockdown and everything. So yeah, that was the start where I realized the system is not efficient enough to even take care of a patient who is like healthy. Like he was healthy when he left. And so that point made me realize.
Yeah, sorry for your loss. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I lost my dad when I was 14 as well. So it was a road accident, though. I was in 11th standard at that time. So uh, growing up without a dad is going to be super tough. I know
Yeah.
now I'm feeling like I don't have anyone to rely upon. I I don't know what to say to whom. If I have a trouble, if I have a problem, I don't know whom to consult. So
Hmm.
I don't even have many friends. I have few friends, but um, so my friend circle is a little bit smaller. So I started connecting with people, like-minded people like you and me, like us. So
Hmm.
that if any problem persists for any of us, maybe we can share it, or people can collectively solve them.
Yeah. I mean, the
This is a
point which you said that you don't have right now anyone to, ask for advice or rely on, like, same, like for me, I realized that I lost my confidence. I mean, then I like backtracked it ki like, huh, he was the one who used to say ki, huh, like you do this, do that, I am there. Like, I mean, not even he didn't stop me from anything. So when that support, goes missing, you're like ki, a part of personality goes. So like it's very difficult. I mean, people say ki okay, move on. Like this happens with everyone, but I'm like it's personal to me. Like my personality, my life is built on with someone, and that to a father.
true.
So yeah, it's very difficult for us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 29 now, but I still feel like I needed him. So it would be
Yeah,
my. I feel like my life would be so much better if I have him. But it's okay. We have to. I mean, like people say, we have to move on, but it is so hard, super hard. But there is no other choice for us. So
yeah.
let's
I
see
mean, we
us.
can manage
Let's
the
see.
grief, we can manage how we feel, but it won't anytime go completely away from our system that we need a father.
True, true, true. Anyway, so when your father collapsed that day, what was going through your mind in those first 60 seconds?
Uh, honestly, I don't know, like, I couldn't believe my sister actually texted me because we all were quarantined. And, my eldest sister, she was coordinating with the hospital. What's the status of his health and, everything. So one night she like night before she texted me कि he's on ventilator and doctor can't guarantee anything. And I was like कि यार मतलब I don't know, like I just talked to him and next like in few hours he was on ventilator. So I didn't know, I was blank I guess at that point, and only thought was racing in my mind कि how will I tell this to my mom? I mean, we decided as sisters कि we'll wait till breaking this news to my mom, but I don't remember much what happened at that point, but it felt blank. I mean, at that moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, same with me. When my dad was on ventilator, I been there. I been to her. I been to him. He was in
Hmm.
a biggest hospital in Hyderabad. So I been to him.
Hmm.
Um, he's not. He's in a coma. So
Hmm.
uh, I don't know what to say. I felt like uh, it is in my dream. It is not happening while I'm dreaming. So, but mm, it didn't last anymore. I don't have words to say that. So I
Yeah.
don't know. So that moment when the auto driver refused, I saw your
Hmm.
story. I read your story, and I want to
Hmm.
know more about that. So that
Okay.
moment when the auto driver refused, did something inside you break, and why did he refuse?
So this was before COVID. Like this was first time. Uh, this was the first moment where we actually realized that something is wrong with our father. So, my sister, like eldest sister, she at that time was living in China. The second sister, she was working. So, and I was in college. So, at like that day, I came early because the lecture got cancelled, and usually that didn't, matlab, that wasn't the case in my college. So, I came home early, and it was like 6 or 7 in the evening, and I was in my room, and my mom comes in, and she's like, Ki, your father isn't moving, he's lying on the floor. So I was like, what's happening? This hasn't happened before any time. Like, he had like sugar, like he had diabetes, but this was something very extreme and unknown. So at that moment, I was like, what should I do next? Like, luckily we had a family doctor. So I called him, XYZ things happened. Please come and visit. So,
Yeah.
and trust me, like I live in Airoli, and I have lived my whole life there, like at that time I was 20, I guess I was 20. I didn't know which is the emergency hospital nearest to my house. Okay, it was just 10 minutes away, still I didn't know, and I didn't know how to call an ambulance. So the natural response is ki, like, uh, take a auto or something. So I called my sister home. She came, and I ran down to find a auto rickshaw so that we could take him to the hospital. So uh, he still somehow got up. He walked, and we sat him in the auto. And when we reached the hospital, it was a small hospital. Like, it wasn't multi-speciality hospital. It was small with an ICU and everything. So the entrance was tiny. I mean, only the auto could go just one side. Like, if it has to come back, it has to reverse out. So he stood at the gate, and auto driver is like कि मैडम मैं अंदर नहीं आऊंगा, मेरे को रिवर्स मारने को नहीं होगा. I'm like, the patient is unable to move, and you are giving this excuse to us. I mean, at that point, I got so angry, but obviously, my focus was ki how can I help out my father? What should I do? Even the hospital wasn't aware that we were coming, being a stretcher or wheelchair or something. And when I got inside the hospital, there was just one. I mean, there wasn't even a ward boy or someone. There was a security guard, and I told
Okay.
him कि मतलब like my father is coming, like कुछ है क्या आपके पास, कुछ wheelchair या ऐसे कुछ. They didn't have anything. So again, somehow he walked. He got into the lift. The emergency ward was on the last floor. I am like,
Okay.
great. So this is how messed up the system is. So the reason the hospital, I mean, still somehow the hospital took care of him. He was admitted for a week, and then we got to know that his kidneys are like 25% only functioning, and the rest. So this was the moment in 2017, I guess. And things
2007.
haven't changed till now. Like, these cases are still here.
They are. They are. I mean, they are same like that everywhere in this country, in some other places as well. So someone have to change it. Maybe
Yeah.
that will be you. So for 3 years, watching someone you love suffer,
Hmm.
what does that do to you as a person mentally?
Um, like, I have been like strong-headed person. Like, I had clarity in my mind since I was kid. So I was very resilient to anything, and But the day my father collapsed, like, everything shifted in my house, that I have to take the next steps. Like, I have to go and talk to the doctor, see what treatment has been given, and everything. So at that point, I was like, okay, maybe this is temporary. I mean, this could, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, this all could change. But it kept happening and happening, and I was like, I didn't have time to even think
Yeah.
about the shift in the role. Ki I'm not just the youngest kid in the house. I have to be the person who shows up. So if I could remember like those 3 years, I was just going to college. I was looking after his hospitalization, medication, papers, and even since he was running a design business, I have to
Yeah.
like go to talk to the clients if there's something to be made, banner, pick up, anything. Like I was doing that job. So mentally, I didn't have any space to think about myself, and I feel that became my routine. Like I would only study for 3 4 hours, like if it's an exam or any project is
Yeah.
coming up. Rest of the day, I would do like these errands. So now, when I have time to do things, I'm unable to work because I'm used to working like 3 4 hours. So that, what would I say, those 3 years mentally dealing with these kind of situation did made me resilient, but I guess I didn't think of myself much, you know and I don't know, it's very blur, I guess, for me to even speak about something from the past right now. But it was very stressful. I mean, after constantly living in the fear that your father could collapse at any moment, uh, it's very difficult. I mean there's no, sorry, there's no space for me to be me at that point.
We can't even
This
think of anything.
podcast is
So
really
that,
heavy. I said this is really heavy, like the caution which you gave in the start that this might feel heavy for you.
yeah, I know it will be heavy. So I
Yeah.
mean, I want my people to feel the pain, how the pain is. So how ideas are born in that pain, and
Hmm.
how big of a deal, how big of a thing it is going to be, what you're working on.
Hmm.
So my people want to know this, and I intentionally made this question myself. So
Hmm.
what is something people don't understand about being a caregiver in India?
Like people feel ki you have to be there. I mean, no matter what, like putting your feelings, your emotions is like being
Mm.
selfish, you know like
Yeah,
because we are
yeah,
so close
yeah,
knitted with each other, we all, like as a family or anyone else, they will be like ki, nahi, nahi, you have to do it, it's your responsibility. So many a times the caregivers mental health needs are ignored, and this is because as a society we always feel ki we should be together
yeah.
and help out each other, rather we first have to look after ourselves and then take care of someone else.
I mean, those 11 days when the wrong medication was being given, did you know something was wrong, or did you just trust the system?
I trusted the system. I mean, honestly, my mom was in touch with my father constantly, and like mothers being mother, they'll worry, So she was like, if any small discomfort he was facing, he would obviously tell her. But because we trusted the hospital because it was the nephrology hospital, we didn't think of ki we have to cross check every day ki what is happening, and also there was no other source to know ki which medications are given, what is his diet, dialysis is done or not. We could only call him and ask him, rather we didn't get a chance to talk to doctor or the nurses because everyone, the system was overloaded. So in those 11
Yeah.
days, till my father said this ki he can't even drink water, nothing alarmed us specifically. So again, yeah, this is a major gap.
True, true. And what is the last thing you remember about your father?
I mean, there are two things. One where I guess I'll cry again. I'll just take out my
Please
system
don't.
very quickly. Yeah. So One incident was that when we got to know that we all are COVID positive, so we started finding hospitals for him, and we got a hospital. I called the ambulance and I went out with him. Like I was standing inside my building wing, and he was walking towards the gate. Uh, that is the last thing. Like, and one more was yeah, this was the physically I saw him like last. And second was when we shifted him to another hospital and correct treatment was started. He called me to okay, he called me and asked कि Z5 का login बता मेरे को. I was like, he wanted to watch some serial or something. And so, yeah, that's it.
I'm so sorry for taking you there, but um, I don't know. I wanna know, and tell us some happiest moments that you ever spent with your dad. Just one. One should be enough.
So one happy memory.
Yeah.
Mm, like we used to go on scooty rides at night. I mean, he'll come from office, and
Yeah.
I was in, I guess, sixth or seventh standard. And I would sit in front of him, and he'll be like, "Ki tu chala." And that's how I learned scooty in like sixth standard. And one time my sister was sitting like behind and
Yeah.
I was ahead, and I was driving the scooty and she's like, oh, like what is happening, like why are you giving her like a take control of the scooty and everything. So she got panicked, but my father knew ki, you know she can do it, she can ride perfectly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So on a lighter note, though, so if he was sitting here
Hmm.
today, what would you tell him to teach you scooty back again, or
No, I would just thank
what
him
would you
ki
tell him to be
I will
serious?
be like thank you for everything. I mean, yeah, there were ups and downs, like we struggled financially and everything, but we had fun. I mean, so that's it. Like, thank you.
Yeah. After losing him, most people would stop. What made you decide to build something instead?
Ugh. Like, this is not very tricky because honestly, mm, like I just now, in recent times, I realized helping someone else, like, I don't have to think of it. Like, it just come naturally to me. I mean, I don't know. It's maybe my personality type, but like, after his passing away, like after one year or 1.5 year, I wasn't in a good mental state, like for those 1.5 years, and when I started recovering, like I went into therapy, I did therapy. It definitely helped me a lot, and I don't know from where this thought came ki what happened to me shouldn't happen to anyone else. So I have no idea like
So,
why I'm doing this, because after seeing my father struggle in his business, my goal was ki I will never start any business. I'll be like, I'll do job, have steady income, and like focus on having financial stability, buying a house and everything. But somehow I still came back in this direction.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you so that is the father's DNA. So never stop, never stop. Even if no matter what happens, but never stop
Yeah.
doing what we love. So Was this decision emotional, or did it just come from clarity that there should be a change in how the things are happening?
It was emotional, but it was intentional as well. Because after my graphic design masters, I was working on a personal project for
Mm.
remote hospitalization, as I said earlier. So I was like, okay, I'll do freelancing. I
Yeah,
work as
yeah.
a freelance graphic designer, and I'll side by side build this project as well. You know, uh, after
True.
and this
Yeah.
was right before COVID ended, like in 2021 when everything started reopening and everything. So I was like, I'll try it out because investors could, were ready to give in money and everything. There was scope, ki, "Okay, now this can be built." So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So after a year, things weren't working. So
Yeah.
I thought, maybe I
Yeah.
should just give up on this idea and focus on being, like grab a job and think about myself, my family, and everyone. So I did apply to a design firm. It was a great job. Like I negotiated salary and everything. But and they were very happy to have me on in their design firm as well. But when I had to say yes, like it, I still remember on text message, like normal message, I have to I have to say yes or no to the person ki I'm in for this job or not. I was crying for like an hour. Like the yes felt like I was doing something wrong, you know. I have no idea why. Like I just cried, and I was like, yeah, I was feeling I'm like betraying the healthcare sector or betraying my project or betraying something by taking this job and thinking of myself. So I said no. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. So next, like the next year, like the whole year, I was doing back and forth. Ki, should I take a job? Because I had
Mm.
responsibilities. Like only
Yeah.
my
Mm.
sisters were earning, and so I was like, I should contribute at home. I should take care of myself. I should earn, have savings, and blah blah blah. But it took me like 1.5 year, after which I actually accepted the fact that emergency sector or even healthcare sector is not strong enough to deal with any kind of crisis again as pandemic. And irrespective of the pandemic, people are dying just because they can't find a right ambulance. So this is the state of healthcare. So
Mm.
then I set my intention
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
whatever happens, even if I am not earning as I used to earn before, but still this idea is needed, this solution is needed. So yeah, right now I'm more confident, more focused that कुछ भी हो जाए, like even if I have to compromise my own needs, I'll still make this idea happen.
Yeah. So yeah, that is actually inspiring for most of us, all of us, not most of us. So, and do you think pain creates better founders, or
I feel if that pain is managed well, then it can help a founder. Otherwise, it can not just a founder; it can broke anyone. It can break anyone. So,
true, true,
if having
true.
pain is actually a suffering as well. I mean, again, as I said, I was for a year, I was going back and forth. Ki should I go for this idea or should I just focus on my needs and do a job or get into freelancing again? I mean, I knew that this is important. I knew what I went through during my father's illness was very difficult and no one else should suffer. But also, that pain was causing me my needs, my comfort, my sanity, and everything. So, unless and until you can manage your pain, you can manage your any emotion, I don't think it will help
Yeah,
you. So, I feel just go for therapy. If you're in pain, emotional pain, go for therapy.
yeah. I absolutely recommend that. Go for a therapy. So, and there are so many people right now are going through something similar, right? And I'm going through it, you're going through it, and there are some amount of people who are going through same kind of problems. But staying silent, what do you want them to hear from you today? What do you want to say, people like me, people like us,
I mean, I would
someone who lost their loved ones?
like this the situation you are seeing is as someone like living with a chronic illness person, or a person who's like going himself or herself from a condition, yeah, right? Like, I won't say कि like be hopeful या फिर be like कि everything will be okay, मतलब like, because reality sometimes turns out very different from what you hope for. All I want to say कि
Hmm. Yeah.
like just hang on, just wait for the storm to pass. you know if you find someone who can help you out or become your anchor, you know like be there, like, you know stand with them, sit with them, talk with them, just don't do
True.
anything with them. Or to the people who are seeing that their friends are suffering, or their sister is suffering, or their husband is suffering, you can provide support just by being there. So
True.
things will turn out
Yeah.
definitely, like,
Yeah.
in your favor eventually, but just hang on. That's it.
Have to go
Yeah.
through it, have to go through it. But if when we are going through it, if there is an emotional support, or like you said, if someone's
Hmm.
behind us to backing us up, it would be a goal for
Yeah.
us, it would be goal
Yeah.
changing for us. So I would say that, yeah. If your product existed back
Hmm.
then, what you're working on, do you believe your father would still be alive today?
uh I think yes, because what we are building is like like filling those gaps where actually it connects patients with doctors and medication and treatment. you know so if we would have known that the medicines which were given were not right for him, we would have immediately changed the hospital, or we would have called a doctor or someone from the hospital ki this is wrong. There was no communication, there was no system in
Yeah.
place to us to know कि some wrong treatment is going on with him. So definitely, and not just during that COVID time, but before that also, like we always struggled him to get into a hospital. By like third year, we actually
Yeah.
found a good nephrologist. Like, I mean, this much time it took us to
Okay. Okay.
actually find a good doctor who would make us understand, who would help us out. Even he was, sometimes he would ask us ki, how much is limit of your insurance, if this is okay for you, if this hospital is okay for you, or I can find some other hospital. Like, he was even considerate in that point to us. And most of the doctors are not, honestly. So yeah, our system would have helped in a majorly, but again,
Yeah.
it was his destiny. So I honestly don't know.
Yeah. And that was the end of
Yeah.
segment one. So now I have few games to play. So this is going to be a bit lighter, but just uh, wash your feelings off. Let's go. Let's start again.
Okay.
Yeah. So game one is save or freeze.
Okay.
Okay. I will give you real emergency
Hmm.
scenario. You just have to answer in 3 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Get your mind fresh, sharp, ready. Someone's parents collapses at home. So what
Say.
do you save or you
Say.
freeze? Save. There is no ambulance nearby. Save or
Save.
freeze. What's the first thing you do when someone's really hurt?
Same.
So when do you freeze? What will make you freeze?
Uh, I never froze in any situation. I guess that's a God's gift I have. Even when my father collapsed, I was able to
It is.
quickly, understand the situation and take next steps like call family doctor, Google ambulances, and everything. Like I was quick to do that.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I'm in this sector that I don't freeze. I mean, in any such certain in any situations. So it's a blessing, I would say.
Yeah. Certainly. Certainly, yeah, it is. It is. So it happens to me too. I never freeze. Whatever the situation might come, I moved out of that freezing
Hmm.
phase actually in the young
Hmm.
age. So no more freezes
I
anymore.
feel
Just
that's why,
fighting
like,
back.
because things happened to us
So
very early, our brain developed in a such a manner that we were able to, tackle all the difficult situations very quickly, make decisions very quickly. So, yeah.
true, true. Yeah, like our elders say, people. I mean, everyone have to go through sufferings, and everyone will have their best days after sufferings,
Yeah.
right? So I would say that our suffering phase, we are currently in the suffering phase while we are younger, so that we could learn as much as possible to grow ourselves and to also contribute towards our
Yeah.
societies, so that in the coming future, in future maybe however long we might live, the life is going to be super good.
Yeah.
It is going to be straight line, and hopefully we can contribute as much as
Yeah,
possible.
because
So
like the thing which you said, because things happen to us in very early. Now that I think about my past, there were many indications, yeah, that I might go into this field because my aunts were in BMC hospital. They worked there, and I used to visit every BMC hospital
yeah,
as a
yeah,
kid because they were staying in the quarters and everything. I would get to meet to doctors, see how hospitals work. I was like growing up in that like scenario for that situation only. So I was very comfortable, handling this situation because I was exposed to this kind of things at very early age. So yeah.
true, true. And now game 2, regret or right.
Okay.
Okay, I have three questions in it. You just have to say is it regret or right, and then explain in one line if you can.
Okay.
Trusting the system blindly, is it regret or
It's
right?
regret because our system is not thinking about its citizens right now.
True. Not questioning doctors, regret or right?
It's a regret again because we feel whatever doctor says it's right all the time, but they are human too, they are not gods, so we have to ask them, we have to question them ki why this procedure, why this medicine, why this everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And last one, waiting instead of acting, regret or right? I mean, not just in emergency scenarios, so everywhere. I mean, in life as well. So waiting instead of acting, regret or right?
I feel regret. I mean, this obviously I have other answer for right as well, because sometimes you can wait and things can turn out in your way, but it can get like the regret answer. Like for regret answer, my line would be sometimes acting quick saves lives, so waiting shouldn't be an option.
Yeah. So now game 3, time freeze.
Okay.
Okay. So if you could pass time and you only have to answer in one
Hmm.
sentence or maybe under a minute, because we have a lot of questions to go through.
Okay.
So it is going to take 1 hour more.
Okay.
So if you could pause time in one moment for your journey, from your journey, what moment would you choose and why?
uh when I decided to like go full time in this emergency sector, because at that moment I felt more alive, I felt more connected to myself.
Yeah. And I also want my audience to speak up their heart as well. So, what is that one moment that you felt you need to freeze it? Game 4, build or break. I have three questions
Okay.
again. Uh, you have to build a solution for it or accept the reality.
Okay.
Okay. You just have to say build or break,
Okay.
to be short. No ambulance available.
Build.
Doctors not responding.
Build.
Family doesn't know what to do.
Build.
Build a solution or break, accept the reality.
Build a solution.
And you are building it.
Yeah. But the customers are not accepting it yet.
It's okay. It is going to take
Yeah.
some time. It is going to take some time. But I'm sure everyone needs it. Everyone needs it. When they see this episode, trust me, they are going to come.
Thank you.
So you have 30 seconds. This is you have to give one
Hmm.
message. You have 30 seconds. Say one message to people who still have their parents alive.
I would say sit with them, uh, ask them questions about their life, get to know them. Like if you are in an age where, without fighting, you can have a conversation with your parents, do that. Because like now I feel ki I have so many questions to ask my father. So but it's okay. I trouble my mother. I am like कि ये कैसे हुआ वो कैसे हुआ, what was your choice at certain age. So just have conversations with them, sit with them, maybe they'll open up. But I also want to say one thing to parents as well, like don't judge your kid if they are asking you a certain question, like you know then they won't come to you to have any conversation, or so yeah.
So this message is both for parents and kids
Yes.
as well. And I feel like I have lots of questions to ask. I don't have anyone to answer. So well, I keep them with me all the time.
Yeah.
So if I could find an answer for something, I would appreciate myself. But if not, keep moving on. That's it. That's how life is. Let's go to the final section, segment 2. And this is going to be more about your solution,
Hmm.
what solutions you are bringing to the table so that people can adapt, change, or uh, make their lives even better.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So what is June emergency app in one single sentence, and why the name June?
All emergency help one tap away, like so you will find ambulance, you will find a paramedic, and you will find hospital which treats your emergency in just one tap away. So this second, why June? Actually, this interestingly came from one of our customer, or one of our like people who we were interviewing to know, like when we were doing R&D. So we kept
Hmm.
June because it's easy to
Yeah,
say, June, and it's very small.
true, true.
And but she said that since June is the sixth month, like and rainy season also starts, like a fresh start, a second chance, and now you have another more 6 months to
True,
restart
true,
your life
true.
or do things which you missed out in the first half of the year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So June is like a second
yeah.
chance.
True. Yeah. And plans start growing in this in
Yeah.
the June. Yeah. That's an thoughtful name actually to say. Thoughtful name, memorable, and
Yeah.
everything good. I
Thank
like
you.
it. In India, when an emergency happens, what actually goes wrong first?
uh, First, people Recently, we were talking to a paramedic and an emergency physician. He said that people use wrong terminologies or they diagnose the incident in a wrong way, which again leads to wrong treatment by the paramedics. So, if an accident happens and if they are like moving the patient, they might injure the patient more by injuring the spine or broken bone or something more injuries can happen, so the response of people is not correct. So that happens, then emergency help comes in late. N number of factors. In metro cities it's generally traffic, no right ambulance contact number, like no awareness of what first aid should be given. Next is by the time the patient reaches the hospital, because of wrong handling of the patient, more damage is done and the hospital isn't alerted. So even they are not prepped. So everything is messed up from the point accident happens. Like the system don't know and the people are not aware what to do.
What are the first 5 minutes where lives are lost,
So let's take an
like
example.
CPR or
Yeah,
something?
let's take an example of an emergency and then I'll explain.
Yeah.
Example, someone
Yeah.
is
True.
choking, okay, and if you aren't able to perform a first aid on the person might die. Okay, and even if you are able to remove the obstructed object somehow, brain was deprived of oxygen for X number of time, X number of minutes. So what will people do? Give
True.
water to the person. They will make him sit, or just they'll like he wait. Acha, theek hai, he's breathing, then is fine. No, like brain have been deprived of oxygen for like 10-15 minutes. You have to rush patient to the hospital immediately so that the proper check and everything is done. So many a times, even after giving a first aid, if follow up or everything is not done properly, the patient dies. So again, same thing. People are not aware about what to do in certain scenarios, certain emergencies. So, recently we saw an example where an organization taught CPR to the railway master, the TC. And on a platform, a guy collapsed and he started doing CPR like in a correct way. And that revived the patient. And he was immediately rushed to the hospital because he knew after a cardiac arrest, you can't rush to the hospital, you have to start CPR. You can't rush him to the
True.
hospital.
True.
First, immediately you have to get the heart again, pump, like get the heart start the blood pumping again. So these small things people don't know. That's why people like that's why, you know, we are losing lives.
True. True. And how does your app change that first 5 minutes?
So we are putting trained paramedics near your gated community 24/7. So and any emergency happens, obviously they'll rush into your flat or your place or to your location. Next is if as I mentioned, like CPR and like cardiac arrest and everything, even our paramedic can't do like can't help immediately, so we also give training to the residents as well of the first aid, so that by the time we are
True.
reaching,
True.
you are also giving some sort of stabilization, so that when we reach, we do it properly, medically and ethically. We are also coordinating with the like same time we'll also coordinate with the ambulance and hospital. So the whole system is given the information ki X patient is coming, this is his condition, and this treatment needs to be given. So the gap of delay, that is like 20-40 minutes, we are reducing that to like 5 or 10 minutes.
True. Amazing. Amazing work. Keep it up. If I install your app today, what exactly happens during an emergency?
So you just have to call June help. My father has collapsed. And if we have your father's data in our application, we know his precondition that maybe he's diabetic or he has hypertension. Our paramedics would know ki X patient has collapsed. This is his condition. Our paramedics will be prepared. They will alert the hospital and ambulance. This will all happen in 5 to 10 minutes. Our paramedics will reach, stabilize the patient. As the ambulance arrives, we'll take the patient to the hospital, and the next steps will be taken by the doctors at the ERT.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, I have a question in this. Do you, let's say, I'm your
Mm.
customer. So, do you also take my data? I mean, my previous hospital visits and my reports and everything, and then your app can get to know what kind of problems I have now and what might be what problems I might get in the future. So will your app make me better prepare for it? And if I don't prepare, or if I collapsed, or if something happens, emergency happens to me, and then app exactly knows what's wrong with me because of my past reports, and then does it happen like that?
Sharing data, it's up to you. Like, we won't make it a compulsion. It will be a voluntary thing from the residents. But obviously, it will help us to tackle situation in more better way, because even we are prepared. We know कि this has happened to you. This is your pre-medical condition. So it will definitely help. Talking about in future, it can predict. It again depends upon the person. If the person starts to take care of themselves in a better way, I mean, the app wouldn't know. Obviously, we are not
Yeah.
taking daily data. Like, we are not trying to take your data in exchange of anything. We are just saying, give us important data and crucial data, so that if something happens, we know how to help you,
Yeah.
rather than like judging on
Yeah.
assumption.
True, true, true. And everyone have to personally themselves have to give the data instead of you taking it.
Yeah.
That would help them, and that would also help the app to grow, evolve
Yes.
more, I would say. Yeah. And I also have a doubt that does your app collect, I mean, not collect, use data from their smartwatch? If I have a
Hmm.
smartwatch, does it also do any sort of checks on me if I'm doing well or not?
So we are trying to collaborate with a smart watch company, but again we have to see how their tech is, like how accurate they can monitor the patient's vitals. So basis on that we can, but
Yeah,
again
yeah,
it's like same thing. It will only trigger a fall, or if the heart rate is going down or up. That's it.
yeah, yeah. Good. I want to see the. I wish I want to see these futures in the future, in your company, in your app.
Yeah, it will.
So if it works for you, it will be so much helpful for people around, people so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's not just that, like, oh, right now, at least in metro cities, the scenario is that either there's like both the parents are working, either the child is alone or an elderly parent is alone. So constantly worrying is, I mean, it's taking a toll on them as well. I mean, there is no other option, but both the parents have to work, because everything is unaffordable right now. So if we are telling them ki we our paramedics are there to look after your loved ones. So they giving us permission to track their data by a smartwatch or a phone would be eventually beneficial for them only. So we hope that people accept this.
True, true. And I do also have a doubt that does your app do remind to take medicine?
Like, we are thinking of these features, uh but yeah, definitely we aim to add this as well.
Yeah,
Again, it
good,
all depends
good.
on ki if
It will be
customer or
helpful
the
for.
residents are giving us their data. Again, as I said, it's a voluntary thing.
Yeah, true, true. And have you already seen any situation where your app made a difference in a real world?
So currently we are in like development phase. We are asking like we
Yeah.
are like testing our MVP with our customers and vendors. So we
Mm-hmm.
are getting good response, but
Mm.
obviously to launch this in the market, we can't have a cheaper product, which usually happens in the startup world where
True,
everyone
true.
is like you just start with something small or do something minimal and then launch it, try it out. But in our case, we can't do that. We have to be sure, like 100% sure, the testing should be done in a controlled environment before giving out to users. Because if one step goes wrong, we it's not costing us a delivery cost, it's costing us a life. So it is taking us time to
True.
build like proper product with which has been tested in control environment, but the
Yeah.
response for MVP and the idea is good.
Great. 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 I wish I could be a part of your testing as well.
We'll definitely come.
And did you receive any feedback? And how did you feel like when you received that feedback? Did you also feel like, yes, this is what I built it for?
So there are two parts. One is the medical sector, like the doctors, paramedics, hospitals, ambulance, like they are a one of group of stakeholders, and the other are customers, like common people. So paramedics and ER specialists, they are very happy that someone is doing something in this area, because they have lost many
Yeah.
lives because of these mistakes, because of this gap in the system. So they are very happy, like yesterday only we had a call and he was like, no, no, go for it, like we know ki it will take time but don't give up. So on the customer side,
Yeah.
people do recognize this as a need, but since it's a new tech or a new area, there is no such system in India right now, so they are little hesitant, but they understand the importance of it.
Amazing. Amazing. What does success look like for you?
Saving a life. I mean, honestly, the reason I'm saying this because I have had successes in last 2 3 years, but every time like I got that achievement, it didn't feel like, oh wow, what a nice job I have done, unless it actually saved a life. I mean, for us and for our company's aim, it's like ki, whatever you do, save a life. That should be a success.
Good luck. Good luck. Save as many lives as
Yeah,
possible.
thank you.
Yeah. Maybe at least then people will be happy. Unlike us. I mean, we are happy, but not like this disappointed without our loved
Yeah.
ones. So, do you see this becoming a global emergency infrastructure?
Yes, definitely. Uh, we can expand to other industries, other sectors as well. It's not limited to just healthcare. It can
Yeah.
go in entertainment, it can go in defense as well, agriculture, everywhere. Because emergency doesn't discriminate ki you are rich, poor, you are sports person, or you do 9 to 5 job. It doesn't. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it will also it will.
Amazingly.
I mean, yeah, it's for everyone.
It is for everyone. Amazing. Amazing, man. Amazing. So, can technology actually replace panic with protocol? Do you
Yeah,
think?
if implemented very strictly. If Because if you see any medical procedure is done, like if let's take an example of a surgery, there is protocol to be followed by nurses, doctors, everyone who are going into operation room. And if
Yeah.
any one step is missed, everything can collapse. So taking that example into a
True.
system in emergency care, like before hospital, even that kind of seriousness will save a life. So protocols will help. Like if we are saying that if we have done pilot testing in your residence and we know ki our paramedic will reach
Yeah.
you in 8 minutes, so that has to be followed by whoever is involved, may it be security guard, management, or our paramedic, or the ambulance. So if we know कि paramedic is coming in 8 minutes, so we'll have some sort of calmness कि okay, some help is coming our way.
Yeah, I have to tell you something that I think in uh, few months few months before I had this thought that we are getting our parcels delivered in under 10 minutes, but why not a ambulance, or why not a health worker who can save someone's life? Why not someone can come to us that fast? Why nobody is working on it? But eventually I found you.
I mean, I would appreciate a certain company who said that they will reach you in 10 minutes, like their ambulance, and then their paramedic will reach you in 10 minutes. I hope they also aim to expand in underprivileged areas, because there they don't have basic facility. I mean, I do wish that they would, target that area more rather than an area where already everything is working. So, I mean, true, like
True.
people want their parcels in one day or same day delivery, but they won't put effort in
Yeah.
learning in first aid. So there's a like a mental, what can I say? We have to, like, while building this app, we realized it's a mental battle rather than a systematic battle. We can build app anytime, but if we
True.
can't
True.
shift
Yeah.
everyone's perspective from कि okay होने के बाद देखा जाएगा to prevention is needed या prevention is better, it's going to be very tough path for us.
I mean, when as you mentioned, you said that in rural areas, right? I live in a rural area. I live in a village, so and if someone in emergency, I'm okay. I live near to a town,
Hmm.
maybe 10 kilometers near to the town. If I have to rush, I rush in 10 minutes or 15-20 minutes. It should be fine for me. But some people from uh, here to, if I go inside villages around to 15 kilometers or 10 kilometers, if they have to rush to the hospital, it is going to take them around 1 hour. So people in that areas are going to get help a lot quicker and lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, the point which you mentioned, like I have a habit of watching random videos on YouTube. So I was watching a travel vlog of an Indian YouTuber only. So he was traveling to some place in Arunachal. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact name. So he was interviewing the locals. And one lead, he asked, ki, like, what do you want? Like in your village, like it was up in the mountain somewhere. So that lady said, we just want a hospital. I mean, they like,
True.
I mean, we are not like,
Yeah.
I don't know where all our taxpayers' money is going. I mean, we can't even provide a simple hospital to people. I mean, so that's why I was like, ki, if you have money to spend, spend in an area where there is no basic facilities. Don't spend your money where everything is already available. Though saving lives is saving lives, I understand and I totally support it. But if you have money in spare, like spend it somewhere where basic necessities are not available.
True. True. And where lives can
Yeah.
saved, lives can be saved. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I'm so proud that I'm representing you. Really, seriously.
Thank you. Like it's awkward. Like I get
And I have
awkward
one final.
whenever someone compliments.
Yeah, I feel same too. But sometimes we have to give. Yeah, sometimes we have to take as well.
Yeah.
So I have a final question for
Yes.
you. If one person watching installs your app today, what does that mean to you personally?
I feel that they finally understood the importance of preparedness, because even if you are not going through any chronic illness or you're not living with someone who has a chronic illness, but like giving importance to preparedness. Okay, like any kind of medical emergency will happen to me or will happen to my family, so I need to invest in this idea. I need to have this app in my phone, because then I'll be able to help myself and my family in a better way. So yeah, that finally the mental shift has happened in that person, that preparedness is important as well.
Yeah, 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 true. And what do you wanna what will you say as a final message to everyone who is watching and who will watch in the future as well?
uh Only thing is that if the story, like if my story resonated in any manner, maybe my story was your friend's story, or your grandparents' story. So all I am asking is ki, like support us in any manner. I am not saying ki like download our app, or but just can, if you can spread the awareness as well, that that will work, you know
Yeah,
because my life story is that
true, true.
I want to save someone else's loved one, because we did everything to save my father, and still we lost him. So people need to understand that if it hasn't, or any emergency has not happened to you, doesn't mean that it will never. So we are trying to be there for you
Yeah.
in such situations.
Hope it will never happen.
I obviously hope it will never happen.
Sorry.
But if it happens, we'll be there for you. So show like any kind of support. It doesn't matter. You can reach us out to our WhatsApp, or you can go to our website. And yeah,
Yeah. And I would say I will leave all your socials in my description.
okay,
Just I want people to join her first. You don't have to try the app, but go join her, support her, and maybe in the future, who knows what happens in the future. If you want to try it, just try it out.
yeah.
And I would actually recommend you to try this app and follow her, talk to her, and uh, try asking her how did she felt like fighting back
Even
to in
I'll
solving
be
these kind of
Yeah,
problems.
even I'll be happy to help anyone who is reaching out to me, like in any manner, because I know what it feels to do everything alone. So if you want any help, may it be on personal level, not just in an startup journey, or as a founder, or as like I can help you out as a person as well. So do reach out, and I'll do my best.
I will reach out to you first.
Let's connect after this.
Yeah, thank. I mean, I'm so honored again. I'm so honored that I represent you. And life is tough for us, but it will be good in the
Yeah.
future, as I said.
Yes.
And yeah. And for people who are watching, please look after your parents. Please look after your elders and ask them if they need something. Please ask them
Yes.
what they need, and try serving them when they are alive.
Mhm.
I know everyone, we all are going to die one day, for sure. But at least these small little lives that we have, please live fulfilled life.
Yeah.
You want to add something?
No, yeah, that's it. I mean, the in the start, what you said, ki this is going to be a heavy, or emotionally heavy podcast. It was, but in the end, it's all good. Like I do wish that people take initiatives. Knowing their parents, their loved ones, maybe friend or anyone, grandparents, and also look after themselves as well. So
So, so thank you, Palguni,
yeah,
for joining.
thank you.